I'm so excited! The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is fast approaching. We're gonna finally see what this console is all about and what games we're gonna be playing in the first year of its release. If there's one thing we need to see in that Direct, it's a 3D Mario game. Now I know that a new Mario Kart game has already been revealed, but you can never have too much Mario. Also, it's been a whole 4 months since we've gotten our last Mario game. I really don't want Nintendo to start forgetting about Mario. Super Mario Odyssey is still my favorite game on the Switch 1. All the different types of concise platforming that the game has you do, the amount of creativity jam-packed into each and every kingdom, the ability to be a Moai, it's just peak fiction. So I've been dying to see what the successor to that game is like. And I wouldn't mind a new Mario Sports game either. I've still been waiting for another Mario baseball game. Don't think I'm just gonna forget about Mario Super Sluggers, Nintendo. I still have the Nintendo Selects version of that game in my room. And maybe we could see a new Paper Mario game, and a new Mario Party game, and some games featuring the other Mario characters, and God, I had such a good time with the Switch 1. I got Breath of the Wild, a Link's Awakening remake, a Skyward Sword remaster, Tears of the Kingdom, and Echoes of Wisdom. With the Switch 2 being backwards compatible with the Switch 1, I'm gonna get the chance to enjoy all these games on the next generation of Nintendo hardware too. I wouldn't be mad if the performance of these games is improved for the Switch 2 as well. Maybe all of these games can run at a stable 60 FPS now instead of 30 FPS or 15 FPS whenever a blade of grass is on screen. There's probably gonna be another Zelda game coming down the pipeline soon enough, but you know what I really want? Wind Waker HD Deluxe on the Switch 2. I know there's already an HD version of it, but that was the Wii U, and the Wii U used discs. Discs aren't compatible with the Switch. It's too big for the hole. It doesn't fit. So that's why I want this game on the Switch 2. They could also remake Ocarina of Time again. At least that way when I'm struggling through the water temple, the water will at least look pretty. 8 years. It's been 8 years since I screamed like a banshee at the reveal of Metroid Prime 4, and now I'll finally get to see the finished product. All the years of there being no news has finally come to an end. Yeah, we got Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime Remastered, but listen, the candy that you want the most is always the candy that's kept away from you. In fact, Metroid fans are one of the only fandoms that are virtually guaranteed to get a game of theirs shown during the Direct. Metroid Prime 4 has been revealed, gameplay of it has now been shown, and a 2025 release window is now confirmed. All they need to do is give us a release date and some more details on the game. There's a good chance they'll even release on the same day as the Switch 2. Give us that Metroid! Don't you even think about giving us Splatoon 4. We got Splatoon 3 3 years ago, and updates for that game ended 6 months ago. I'm good, we don't need another Splatoon game. Splatoon 2 came out 1 year after Splatoon 1's last update, and Splatoon 3 came out 3 years after Splatoon 2's last update. Both of which, while they were fun, left some things to be desired. So don't you dare force those devs to rush Splatoon 4 out the door too. I'd be perfectly fine with some kind of Splatoon spin-off though. Maybe something that delves more into the lore of the game, or something that focuses on Splatoon's vast array of music. I'd even take a fashion game, Splatoon Dressed to Impress, where you at? But just don't even think about releasing a whole new mainline Splatoon game in the launch year of the Switch 2. The new Mario Kart game should do just fine on the multiplayer front for now. Heck, there's apparently a treasure trove of unutilized data in Splatoon 3's files, like maps and weapons, so you can finally make that accessible to push the backwards compatibility feature. But if I see a 4 next to the Splatoon logo during that Direct, I am going to tear off my left nipple. We're perfectly fine with waiting. We're still enjoying the balance patches and seasonal Splatfest in Splatoon 3, and at least we know that the next mainline Splatoon game is coming eventually. God, I love COVID. Not because it shut the world down or infected millions of people, but because it helped Animal Crossing garner mainstream attention while everyone was in quarantine. New Horizons has sold more units than all the other games in the series combined, and it's the best-selling game on the Switch if we don't count the GTA 5 of Nintendo games. I know they've gotta have another Animal Crossing in the works. I can't wait to see what they do next with the series. New Horizons added terraforming and dollar store equipment, so there's no telling what the next game might have. I hope it borrows the best parts of all the previous games and takes it to a whole new level. I want Isabelle to cuss me out. It probably won't happen, but I'd be very stoked to see a Pikmin game announced for the Switch 2. Pikmin 4 is already in the echelon of games that looks magnificent on the Switch 1, so I can't imagine how good Pikmin 5 will look. If it's true that the Joy-Cons can function as a mouse and I can use that to throw and call my Pikmin, then I ain't gonna lose a single one of them. Me when I lie? Pikmin 4 was released in 2023, so I don't see the next game coming out until we're at least a few years into the Switch 2's life. I'm fine with the wait though. Pikmin 4 was on the same tier as Tears of the Kingdom was for me. But if we do get a reveal and it's developed at the same speed that Pikmin 4 was, we might get to play it by 2033. This is all we need to look forward to for Pokemon, right? No next generation game that's barely finished this time, no Gen 5 remakes that are gonna turn into a Funko Pop, just a Pokemon Legends game? Alright, cool. It only took Game Freak forever to start taking their time on Pokemon games. I really hope that the Switch 1 Pokemon games are all touched up when I play them on the Switch 2. No more frame rate drops, no more textures popping in and out, no more random trips to heaven, none of that. So far, Legends ZA looks alright. I'm kinda worried about the whole game being confined to one city, and I'm not even sure how many of the buildings in said city I'll be able to go into. But I do like the new battle mechanics, like the ability to teach my Pokemon the secret 5th move used in the anime. Dodging. I'll have to wait until it releases in a few months to see how good it is and if it will be optimized better on the Switch 2. In the meantime, I'll be asking questions like, how did AZ go from country destroyer to hotel clerk? Aren't we intrepid? We have Xenoblade 1, 2, X, and 3 on the Switch 1, and the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with it. That means I'll get to play all 4 of those masterpieces on the Switch 2. And imagine how beautiful the Arid Sea or the Orion Titan will be if the Switch 2 improves the graphics. This game will look even more like a piece of art while the console is docked, and it will no longer look like a 3DS game when it's undocked. I don't think we'll see anything in this direct. We got Xenoblade X Definitive Edition just this month, which probably has its own decently meaty epilogue. But another experiment will kick off soon. In the meantime, the backwards compatibility is going to be coming in handy. It's been a wild ride, this passage of fate. Especially because now Pokemon Legends ZA seems to be borrowing from Xenoblade's battle style, with you needing to move around and charge up your attacks now. So if I'm really getting impatient during my wait for Xenoblade 4, I'll just squint my eyes and pretend that Tepig is Pyra. Oh, Sakurai! Did you enjoy being a YouTuber for a couple years? I hope you did, because it's time you start working on the next Smash game. As cool as it would be to have the next Smash game include over 100 characters, and the Switch 2 could handle it, that is definitely not going to happen. Half of these characters may not even be allowed to be in the next Smash game. I wouldn't be surprised if they were only like 50 characters in the next game, but each of their movesets were really reworked, or there were a bunch of new things added into the game. I'm just saying, Subspace Emissary 2 is always an option, Sakurai. I know Subspace Emissary didn't have the best platforming design and you don't care for cinematic cutscenes, but I think a lot of people would still want it. Just don't bring back the Great Maze. 7-year-old me only got through that the first time out of sheer trial and error. But like all of Nintendo's first and second party exclusives, I know that the next Smash game is gonna be super fun. Nintendo's got high goals for the Switch 2, so I can't even imagine what games they're gonna show off to help them reach them. I just know that if they need a good fighting game, what better game to turn to than Super Smash Brothers? And actually, there is another fighting game on the Switch, one where you use 2 separate Joy-Con to punch, grab, and shield. What was it again? Come on, Nintendo, give ARMS another chance!